Welcome to our channel. Today, we're talking about the book Hero
Oh,
by Rhonda Byrne.
okay, yeah.
You might recognize her name from The Secret.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's back, this time exploring how we can all tap into our inner hero to achieve our dreams.
Awesome.
And speaking of staying motivated on that journey, have you heard of affirmifyjourney.com?
I have not.
They've got some really interesting resources, including personalized affirmations based on your zodiac sign.
Wow.
It's worth checking out. But first, let's dive into Hero and see what wisdom Rhonda has to offer.
Yeah, let's do it.
So,
I'm really interested to hear what she has to say about this whole hero concept.
me too. It's such a powerful metaphor.
Totally.
And she does a great job of breaking it down and making it applicable to our everyday lives.
So it's not just about like superheroes and myths.
No, not at all.
Okay.
She argues that no matter who we are or where we come from, we all have this incredible potential for greatness just waiting to be unlocked.
I love that.
Okay.
It's so empowering.
Right. It's like she's saying that we all have this hero within us just waiting to emerge.
It makes you think about all the amazing things people have accomplished against all odds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she actually dedicates a whole section to that concept, against all odds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of the first things she talks about.
That's interesting.
She shares these amazing stories of people who faced incredible challenges but refused to let those circumstances define them.
So it's not about avoiding challenges altogether.
Nope.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that challenges are actually a part of the hero's journey.
I like that.
They're the obstacles we need to overcome in order to grow and ultimately achieve our goals.
Makes sense.
Think about Liz Murray,
Who's that?
going from homelessness to Harvard.
Wow.
Or Peter Burwash, who was paralyzed but didn't let that stop him from becoming this world-renowned tennis coach.
That's amazing.
And John Paul DeJoria, the founder of John Paul Mitchell Systems, was fired multiple times before he found success.
Wow. So it's like the bigger the challenge, the greater the triumph.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what she's getting at.
That's a really interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, it's about shifting our perspective and realizing that challenges are not meant to break us, but to make us stronger.
I'm starting to see how this whole hero thing ties into personal growth.
Absolutely. And it's not just about overcoming external challenges. It's also about tapping into our own inner strength.
Right, because sometimes the biggest challenges come from within.
Exactly. And that's where this idea of your calling comes in.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that term before, but what does it really mean?
Well, Byrne believes that we all have this unique purpose, this innate sense that we're meant for something more.
Like we're all destined for greatness.
In a way, yes. It's about recognizing our own unique talents and passions and then having the courage to pursue them.
But how do you figure out what your calling is?
That's a great question. And Byrne offers some really practical advice on how to recognize those callings.
Oh, that's helpful.
She talks about reflecting on our childhood dreams, the hobbies that make us lose track of time,
Right.
those moments of inspiration that seem to come out of nowhere.
Like those aha moments?
Yeah, exactly. She believes these are all clues pointing us towards our true purpose.
Makes sense.
She uses the example of Michael Acton Smith, the founder of Mind Candy.
I know that company. They make mochi monsters, right?
Yes, he was obsessed with games from a young age, and that passion ultimately led him to create a hugely successful gaming company.
So basically, he turned his passion into his career.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
And then there's GM Rao, who credits a teacher for igniting his desire to find his true calling in life.
Wow. So sometimes it just takes one person or one experience to spark that flame.
I think so.
It's pretty amazing how those little things can have such a big impact.
Yeah, it's like those little sparks of inspiration can turn into these roaring flames of passion if we just fan them.
So how do we do that? How do we fan those flames?
Well, that's where this idea of following your bliss comes in.
I've heard of that. Isn't that Joseph Campbell's philosophy?
Yes, but Byrne takes it a step further, arguing that following our bliss isn't just about finding happiness. It's actually a key ingredient in achieving our dreams.
That's interesting.
It's about trusting that when we pursue what brings us joy, we naturally align ourselves with our true purpose and open ourselves up to greater possibilities.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about actually achieving our goals.
Right. And it's not always easy to follow our bliss, especially when it means taking risks or going against societal expectations.
That's true.
But Byrne believes it's essential if we want to live a truly fulfilling life.
I'm starting to see the connection between all these different concepts.
Me too. It's like they're all pieces of the same puzzle.
Yeah, like a roadmap to becoming our own heroes.
Exactly. And speaking of following your bliss,
Yeah.
Byrne uses some really great examples in the book to illustrate this concept.
Oh, I'd love to hear some of them.
Well, one that really stood out to me was the story of Nick Woodman, the founder of GoPro.
Oh, cool. I love GoPro.
His love for surfing led him to create this incredible camera company that allows people to capture their own adventures.
Wow. So he basically turned his hobby into a global business.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
It's a perfect example of how passion can fuel innovation and creativity.
Yeah, sometimes the things we love the most can lead us to our greatest achievements.
Absolutely. And sometimes those passions lead us down paths we never could have predicted.
So it's about being open to the possibilities and trusting where our interests might lead us.
Exactly. And you know what? This whole follow your bliss philosophy resonates so much with my own journey.
Really?
I've always loved cooking.
Oh, yeah. I know you're a great cook.
Thanks. And that passion eventually led me to create a successful cooking show.
That's amazing.
It's funny how life can surprise you when you just follow your heart.
I love that story.
Okay.
It's so inspiring.
It speaks to the power of trusting the journey and allowing ourselves to be guided by what truly lights us up.
And that leads us to another important concept, being true to yourself.
Right. Which is all about recognizing that we each have our own unique path to carve out in this world.
So it's not about comparing ourselves to others or trying to fit into someone else's mold.
Exactly. It's about having the courage to pursue what truly matters to us, even if it goes against societal expectations or what others think we should be doing.
It can be tough to go against the grain, though.
For sure. But Byrne argues that when we try to fit ourselves into someone else's mold, we diminish our own light.
Makes sense.
It's only by embracing our authentic selves that we can truly shine.
I like that.
She shares some great examples of people who've done just that.
Oh, like who?
Well, there's John Paul DeJoria, who we talked about earlier.
The hair product guy.
Yeah, he encourages readers to always prioritize happiness, even if it means taking a less conventional route.
So it's about doing what feels right for you, even if it's not the normal thing to do.
Exactly. And then there's GM Rao,
Mm-hmm.
who made the bold decision to leave a comfortable family business to pursue his own dreams.
Wow, that takes courage.
It does. It takes courage to follow your own path, especially when it means stepping outside of what's expected of you.
But ultimately, it's about living a life that's true to yourself.
I think so.
It's about aligning our actions with our values and passions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how do we find that courage, especially when doubts start to creep in?
That's a great question.
Because, let's face it, self-doubt is something we all struggle with.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But Byrne has some really insightful advice on how to overcome those negative thoughts and cultivate a stronger sense of self-belief.
I'm all ears.
She dedicates a whole chapter to this concept. Believe in yourself.
Ooh, that sounds important.
It is. It's all about recognizing our own potential,
Yeah.
even when it feels difficult.
So it's about silencing that inner critic.
Yes, and focusing on our strengths rather than our weaknesses.
It's easy to get caught up in those negative thoughts, though.
Oh, absolutely. But Byrne emphasizes that our thoughts have power, and that by choosing to believe in ourselves, we open ourselves up to incredible possibilities.
Okay, I like that.
She shares a great story about Pete Carroll, the NFL coach.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
He helped quarterback Carson Palmer overcome negative self-talk.
Wow.
And Carson Palmer went on to win the Heisman Trophy.
That's incredible.
It's a powerful example of how a shift in mindset can lead to amazing results.
So it's like, if you believe you can achieve anything, you set your mind to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about positive thinking, it's about backing it up with action.
Right, you have to put in the work, too.
Absolutely. But self-belief is the foundation.
Makes sense.
And speaking of self-belief,
Yeah.
Byrne introduces another powerful technique for achieving our dreams. Visualize your dream.
Oh, I've heard about visualization.
It's all about creating a clear mental picture of the outcomes we want, almost like watching a movie of our own success.
Interesting.
She talks about how athletes use visualization to prepare for competitions.
Oh, yeah, like picturing themselves winning the race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Byrne encourages us to do the same, whether it's visualizing ourselves giving a killer presentation, landing our dream job, or achieving any goal we set our minds to.
So we basically create a mental blueprint for success.
I like that analogy. It's about using our imagination to program our subconscious minds for the outcomes we desire.
That's pretty powerful stuff.
It is. And she provides some really compelling examples in the book.
Oh, like what?
Well, there's Lane Beachley, a champion surfer.
Okay.
She visualized herself on the podium holding up the trophy.
Oh, wow, and it worked.
She went on to win multiple world championships.
That's incredible.
And then there's Michael Acton Smith,
The Moshi Monsters guy.
The one and only. He sketches out his dreams to bring them to life.
Hmm, that's
It's
interesting.
like a visual representation of his goals.
I guess it makes them feel more real and tangible.
Exactly. And then there's Liz Murray.
Okay.
I remember her journey from homelessness to Harvard.
Yeah, incredible story.
She visualized straight A's on her transcript as she worked towards her goal.
Wow, so she was literally seeing her success before it even happened.
Exactly. And it's a great example of how visualization can be applied to academic goals as well.
I'm starting to see how this can be used in so many different areas of life.
Me too. It really highlights the power of our minds to shape our reality.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. But even with visualization and self-belief, staying positive all the time can be tough.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Life throws curveballs.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get caught up in negativity, especially when things aren't going our way.
So how do we stay positive when things get tough?
Well, Byrne argues that our attitude is everything.
Hmm.
She believes that maintaining an optimistic outlook is crucial for navigating challenges and ultimately achieving our dreams.
So it's about choosing to focus on the good even when things are difficult.
Exactly. It's about finding the silver lining even in the darkest of clouds.
It's easier said than done, though.
Oh, I agree. It takes practice.
But it's a practice worth cultivating.
Definitely. And Byrne highlights some amazing individuals who embody this positive spirit.
Oh, like who?
Well, there's Maston Kipp.
Okay.
He's a motivational speaker and author who went through some really tough personal challenges, but managed to maintain his optimism throughout.
That's impressive.
It is. And he talks about how our attitude shapes our reality, and that by choosing to focus on the positive, we create a more positive experience for ourselves.
So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
In a way, yes. And then there's Peter Burwash.
Our resilient tennis coach.
That's right.
Uh,
He emphasizes that choosing to see the positive is a conscious decision we can make every single day.
so it's not about ignoring the negative, but about actively choosing to focus on the good.
Exactly. And it's not always easy, but it's a powerful practice for cultivating a more joyful and fulfilling life.
I can see how that would be beneficial.
And GM Rao believes that negativity is one of the biggest things that holds people back from reaching their full potential.
That makes sense.
It's like a self-imposed limitation that prevents us from seeing the possibilities.
So by embracing a positive attitude, we open ourselves up to more opportunities.
Exactly. And I think that's a great note to end on for this part of our deep dive.
Yeah, this has been really insightful so far.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to explore in Rhonda Byrne's Hero.
I can't wait to dive into the next chapter.
Me too. But before we do, I just want to remind everyone to check out affirmifyjourney.com for more inspiration and motivation on your own hero's journey.
Yeah, they have some really cool resources over there.
They do. And now let's take a quick break, and we'll be back soon to continue our deep dive into Hero by Rhonda Byrne.
Sounds good. All right, so where were we?
We were talking about attitude and how important it is to cultivate a positive outlook.
Right.
But, even the most optimistic people experience moments of fear and doubt.
Right. Oh, cool.
How do we deal with those feelings when they inevitably arise?
That's a great question, and it's something that Byrne addresses head-on in the chapter on facing fear and doubt. She acknowledges that these feelings are a natural part of the human experience, even for those who achieve extraordinary things.
That makes me feel a little better, actually.
Right. It's like we're not alone in those moments of self-doubt.
Exactly.
It's not about pretending that fear doesn't exist. It's about learning how to manage it.
So how do we do that?
Well, Byrne offers some really practical advice.
Oh, good. I'm all ears.
She talks about how fear is often a signal that we're stepping outside of our comfort zone,
Okay.
which is actually a good thing.
Really?
Yeah, because it means we're growing and challenging ourselves.
I never thought of it that way.
It's like if we're not feeling a little bit of fear, we're probably not pushing ourselves hard enough.
That makes sense.
She gives this really cool example of Laird Hamilton.
What's that?
Oh, he's this legendary big wave surfer.
Wow.
He talks about how he has to act on instinct even when he's feeling scared.
Oh, wow.
He says that hesitation can actually be more dangerous than the fear itself.
It's like, just go for it.
Pretty much. It's about trusting your gut and taking that leap of faith.
And she also mentions Liz Murray again.
Our friend who went from homelessness to Harvard,
The one and only.
what does she have to say about fear?
Well, she uses this visualization technique to mentally prepare herself for challenges.
Oh, interesting.
Remember how she visualized hurdles on the track?
Yeah.
She uses that same technique to overcome feelings of doubt and fear.
So it's like she's mentally rehearsing for those difficult situations.
Exactly. And by doing so, she's able to face them with more confidence and resilience.
I like that technique.
It's a great way to proactively address those fears and develop strategies to move through them.
And that brings us to another important aspect of the hero's journey, taking risks.
Ooh, yes. This is where things start to get really exciting.
Right. Because without risk, there's no reward.
Exactly. Byrne argues that calculated risks are essential for growth and achieving our dreams.
Make sense?
She reminds us that she herself took a huge risk in creating the secret film.
Oh, yeah. She put everything on the line for that project.
She did. And it paid off in a big way.
So it's like sometimes you have to bet on yourself.
Absolutely. And she shares some other great examples of people who have taken risks and reaped the rewards.
Like who?
Well, there's GM Rao, who we talked about earlier.
The guy who left his family business?
Yep. He made a significant investment in his dream, even after experiencing some setbacks.
That's brave.
It is. It's about having the courage to believe in yourself, even when things get tough.
And then there's Michael Acton Smith, our entrepreneur friend.
He believes in making small bets in business, testing the waters to see what works.
It's like a process of trial and error.
Exactly. It's about being willing to experiment and learn from your mistakes.
That's a good reminder because sometimes we're so afraid of failing that we don't even try.
Yeah, that's the biggest risk of all, not taking any risks.
So true.
But taking risks can be scary. How do we stay grounded and focused on what truly matters?
That's where gratitude comes in. Byrne is a big believer in the power of gratitude to shift our perspective and attract more abundance into our lives.
So it's not just about feeling thankful, it's about actually manifesting good things.
Exactly. It's about recognizing all the good that's already in our lives and appreciating it.
And she shares GM Rao's perspective on gratitude.
What does he say?
He believes that gratitude is actually the key to reaching our dreams.
Interesting.
It's about focusing on what we have rather than what we lack.
Right, because when we focus on what we're missing, we create a sense of scarcity.
Exactly. And that can actually block us from receiving the abundance that's available to us.
So gratitude is like a magnet for good things.
I think so.
And she also mentions Liz Murray again.
What about her?
She found things to be grateful for even when she was homeless.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's a powerful reminder that gratitude is a choice we can make in any circumstance.
Yeah, no matter what's going on in our lives, there's always something to be thankful for.
And Mastin Kipp reminds us that focusing on what we're grateful for can lead to a greater sense of fulfillment and happiness.
So it's not just about attracting material abundance. It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that true wealth comes from within.
I love that.
And speaking of inner wealth,
Yeah.
Byrne also talks about the importance of intuition.
Oh, intuition. That's a fascinating topic.
It is. She describes it as this inner guidance system that's always available to us if we learn to listen.
So it's like a sixth sense.
In a way, yes. It's about trusting those gut feelings and hunches even when we can't logically explain them.
But how do we know if it's our intuition speaking or just our imagination?
That's a good question, and it takes practice to discern the difference.
So how do we develop our intuition?
Well, Byrne suggests paying attention to those subtle feelings and sensations that arise within us.
Okay.
She says it's like a whisper from our soul, a gentle nudge in the right direction.
I'll pay more attention to those whispers.
And she shares some really interesting examples of people who have used their intuition to achieve success.
Oh, like who?
Well, there's Peter Burwash, our tennis coach friend.
Okay.
He did a study on leadership and found that 99.9% of the leaders he interviewed said intuition was more important than logic in their decision-making process.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is. It speaks to the power of trusting our gut feelings even when we can't fully explain them.
So it's not about throwing logic out the window,
No.
but about recognizing that intuition can be a valuable tool.
Exactly. It's about integrating both logic and intuition into our decision-making process.
And she also mentions John Paul DeJoria.
The hair product guy.
Yep. He relies heavily on his intuition when hiring people.
Interesting.
He says he can just tell when someone is a good fit for his company, even if their resume isn't perfect.
This is about going beyond the surface and trusting your gut feeling about people.
Exactly. And Michael Acton Smith, our entrepreneur friend, also emphasizes the importance of paying attention to those gut instincts.
It's like we all have this inner compass that can guide us if we learn to trust it.
I think so.
And this inner knowing is also closely tied to another key principle, the golden rule.
Oh, yeah. Treat others how you want to be treated.
That's the one.
Yeah.
But Byrne connects it to achieving our dreams in a really interesting way.
How so?
She argues that our actions have consequences and that how we treat others can actually impact our own journey.
That's deep.
It is. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of everything and understanding that what we put out into the world ultimately comes back to us.
So it's like karma.
In a way, yes. It's about creating a positive ripple effect with our actions.
He shares some great examples of this in action.
Oh, I'd love to hear them.
Well, there's Laird Hamilton, our big wave surfer friend.
Okay.
He talks about experiencing instant karma in the ocean.
What do you mean?
Well, he noticed that when he acted selfishly or recklessly, he would wipe out.
Oh, no.
But when he was respectful of the ocean and other surfers, he would have these incredible rides.
So it's like the ocean was mirroring his behavior.
Exactly. It's a vivid example of how our energy and actions create a ripple effect.
That's pretty cool.
And then there's John Paul DeJoria, who talks about the importance of being kind and avoiding negativity.
Makes sense.
He believes that negativity breeds negativity, while kindness attracts more kindness.
So it's about creating a positive cycle.
Exactly. And his mother instilled in him from a young age the importance of giving back.
Yeah, that's nice.
No matter how much or little you have, there's always a way to make a difference in the lives of others.
It's a good reminder that we're all in this together.
And that brings us to another crucial element of the hero's journey: commitment.
Okay.
It's about that wholehearted dedication to our dreams, that unwavering determination to see them through.
Like never giving up.
Exactly.
Huh.
Byrne uses the example of Laird Hamilton again.
Her surfer friend.
Yep. This time he's facing this massive wave at Tijupo.
Oh, wow. I've heard of that wave. It's legendary.
It is. And Laird knew he had to fully commit to riding it or risk serious consequences.
So it was a life or death situation.
Pretty much. And it's a powerful metaphor for the level of commitment that's required to achieve our dreams.
So it's not just about dipping our toes in the water, it's about diving in head first.
Exactly. And Liz Murray also talks about the importance of commitment.
Okay, what does she say?
She warns against waiting for the right time to act.
I'm guilty of that sometimes.
We all are. But she says there's no perfect moment and that sometimes we just need to dive in and make things happen.
So it's about taking action even when we're not feeling 100% ready.
Exactly. It's about trusting that the path will unfold as we move forward.
And Mastin Kipp advises against having a plan B.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because he believes it can distract us from fully committing to plan A.
That's interesting.
It's like if we have a backup plan, we're not fully invested in our primary goal.
So it's about going all in on our dreams.
Exactly. And trusting that we'll figure it out along the way.
I like that.
And this unwavering focus is closely tied to another key quality, persistence and determination.
Oh, yeah, that's essential for achieving anything worthwhile.
It is. Byrne reminds us that the path to achieving our dreams is rarely smooth sailing.
There are always going to be bumps in the road.
Exactly. And it's how we navigate those bumps that determines our success.
So it's not about avoiding challenges, but about developing the resilience to overcome them.
Right. And she shares some great examples of people who have demonstrated incredible persistence.
Like who?
Well, there's Michael Acton Smith, who persevered in building his business even when faced with initial struggles.
It's so easy to give up when things get tough.
It is, but he kept pushing forward and ultimately achieved his vision.
And then there's Anastasia Soar,
The eyebrow queen.
the one and only. Remember how determined she was to get a credit card?
Yeah, she wouldn't take no for an answer.
Exactly. She was relentless in her pursuit, and it eventually paid off.
So it's about not giving up even when it feels like the odds are stacked against us.
I think so.
And Byrne even compares this determination to something we all experience as children, learning to walk and talk.
Oh, yeah, we fall down countless times, but we keep getting back up.
Exactly. And it's not because someone is forcing us to do it. It's because we have this innate desire to master these skills.
So it's like we're all born with this incredible capacity for persistence.
I think so.
It's just a matter of tapping into it and applying it to our dreams.
And that brings us to a really interesting concept, the labyrinth of life.
That sounds intriguing.
Byrne uses this metaphor to describe the journey of achieving our dreams.
Okay.
She says the path is rarely straightforward. It's often filled with unexpected twists and turns.
So it's not a straight line from point A to point B?
Nope. It's more like a winding road with lots of detours and unexpected obstacles.
That sounds more like my life.
Me too. But the good news is that those detours and obstacles often lead us to even greater discoveries.
So it's like the journey is just as important as the destination.
Exactly. And Byrne emphasizes that we need to be adaptable and willing to adjust our course along the way.
And she uses Laird Hamilton as an example again.
What does he say?
He talks about how the journey is full of surprises and that we need to be able to roll with the punches.
So it's about embracing the uncertainty and trusting that we'll end up where we're supposed to be.
And Liz Murray, with her huddle analogy, reinforces this idea.
Right. She sees challenges as an inherent part of the course.
And she believes that navigating them is essential for reaching the finish line.
So it's not about avoiding the hurdles, but about learning how to jump over them.
Exactly. And speaking of challenges, there's one in particular that Byrne highlights, the supreme ordeal.
It sounds intense.
It is. It's that final challenge that often arises just before we achieve our dreams.
So it's like the ultimate test.
Exactly. It's the moment where everything is on the line and we're tested to our core.
And she shares some pretty intense examples of supreme ordeals.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, John Paul DeJoria faced a major financial crisis right before launching his company.
Wow, that's rough.
It was, but he managed to pull through, and the company became a huge success.
And Lane Beachley battled chronic fatigue in the lead up to her first world title.
Wow, so she was physically and mentally exhausted.
She was, but she pushed through the pain and achieved her goal.
That's inspiring.
And Rhonda Byrne herself encountered harsh criticism of the secret film just before it became a global phenomenon.
Wow, so even she faced a supreme ordeal.
She did, but she believed in her message and kept pushing forward.
And it's a good reminder that even the most successful people face challenges and setbacks.
Absolutely. It's all part of the journey.
But of course, after the supreme ordeal comes the reward.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about, right?
The moment we've been working towards the culmination of all our efforts.
The feeling of achieving our dreams.
Exactly. And Byrne describes it as this incredible feeling of joy, fulfillment, and satisfaction.
Like pure bliss.
Pretty much. And she emphasizes that the feeling is even more profound for those who've taken the journey, who've overcome the obstacles and pushed through those moments of self-doubt.
So it's not just about the destination, it's about the journey that gets us there.
Exactly. And she shares some really inspiring examples of people experiencing this reward.
Oh, like who?
Well, there's Pete Carroll and his football team.
Ah,
They achieved their vision and won the championship.
that must have been an amazing feeling.
I bet. And Liz Murray's incredible life story was turned into a movie.
Wow. Talk about a dream come true.
Right. And all of the individuals featured in the book describe this overwhelming feeling of accomplishment and gratitude.
It's like all their hard work and sacrifices have paid off.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful reminder that anything is possible if we set our minds to it and never give up on our dreams.
But Byrne doesn't stop there. She goes on to talk about a life worth living.
Interesting.
She emphasizes that the rewards of success extend far beyond material wealth and recognition.
So it's not just about money and fame.
Nope. It's about creating a life that is truly fulfilling and meaningful.
And she uses Rhonda Byrne's own mother as an example.
What about her?
Well, she finally experienced financial security after a lifetime of struggle.
That's wonderful.
It is. And it allowed her to enjoy her later years without having to worry about money.
And Peter Foyo finds deep satisfaction in making a difference in the lives of others.
He's all about giving back.
He is. And he finds great joy in helping others achieve their potential.
And Paulo Freire defines freedom as the ability to choose what he does each day.
So it's about having autonomy and control over your
Okay.
life.
Exactly. And it's a powerful reminder that success can create opportunities for greater freedom and self-expression.
I like that.
And that brings us to the final stage of the hero's journey, the hero's return.
Okay, this is where things come full circle, right?
Exactly. Byrne talks about using our success to help others and make a positive impact on the world.
So it's not just about achieving our own goals. It's about using our gifts to make a difference.
Right. And Maston Kipp emphasizes that the hero's journey is not a selfish pursuit.
It's about serving something greater than ourselves.
Exactly. And he encourages us to share the magic elixir of life that we've discovered along the way with those who need it most.
So it's like paying it forward.
Pretty much. And Peter Foyo finds deep gratification in providing for his team and their families.
That's awesome.
It is. It's about recognizing that our success is not just about us, it's about the people we impact along the way.
And Byrne highlights the various charitable foundations established by the individuals she features in the book.
So they're all giving back in their own unique ways.
They are. And it's a beautiful reminder That true success is not just about personal gain, but about making a positive contribution to the world.
And that leads us to the heart of Byrne's message, the hero in you.
This is where it all comes together, right?
Exactly. Byrne reiterates that everyone has the potential for greatness and to achieve their dreams.
So it's not just about the extraordinary individual she features in the book. It's about all of us.
It is. She's saying that we all have the power to create the lives we desire and to make a difference in the world.
And she shares some powerful parting words from her featured heroes.
Oh, I'd love to hear them.
Well, Pete Carroll emphasizes that we all have the power to create what we want in life.
So it's about taking ownership of our destiny.
Exactly. And G.M. Rao urges readers to believe in their dreams and never let go.
So it's about having faith in ourselves and our vision.
And Liz Murray highlights the power we each possess to change our own life story.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is. It's a reminder that no matter where we come from or what challenges we faced, we always have the power to choose a different path.
So it's ultimately up to us to create the lives we want.
I think so. It's really inspiring, right? Like anyone can achieve amazing things if they just tap into their inner hero.
Yeah, totally. And what I love about this book is that it's not just a bunch of feel-good stories.
Right.
Byrne actually provides a framework for achieving our dreams.
Yeah, she breaks down the hero's journey into these manageable steps.
Exactly. It's like a roadmap to success.
And you know what really struck me as I was reading Hero? It reminded me of affirmifyjourney.com.
Oh, yeah. What about it?
Well, they have all these amazing resources that can help us on our own hero's journeys.
Like what?
They offer guided meditations, journaling prompts, and these really cool personalized affirmations based on your zodiac sign.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I've never heard of personalized affirmations based on your zodiac sign before.
I know, right? It's such a unique concept.
And it makes sense because our zodiac signs can reveal so much about our personalities and our strengths.
Exactly. So it's like having affirmations that are tailored specifically to you.
That's pretty cool.
And I think those kinds of tools can be really helpful in reinforcing the positive mindset and self-belief that Byrne emphasizes throughout the book.
Yeah, it's like having a little extra support system to help you stay motivated and focused on your journey.
Exactly. And you know, sometimes we all need a little extra boost.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when we're facing challenges or setbacks.
Right. And that's where affirmifyjourney.com can really come in handy.
So it's like having a cheerleader in your pocket.
I like that analogy.
So if you're feeling inspired to tap into your inner hero and start chasing those dreams,
Definitely check out affirmifyjourney.com.
it's a great resource for anyone who wants to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
And remember, the hero's journey is not a solo mission.
Right, we all need support along the way.
So don't be afraid to reach out to others for help and guidance.
And remember to celebrate your victories no matter how small they may seem.
Because every step forward is a step closer to achieving your dreams.
And who knows, maybe one day your story will inspire others to embark on their own hero's journeys.
That's a beautiful thought.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Rhonda Byrne's Hero, I want to leave you with this question.
What is it?
What one small step can you take today to move closer to your dreams?
It's a great question, and I encourage everyone listening to really take a moment to reflect on that.
Because the hero's journey begins with a single step.
And the power to take that step lies within each and every one of us.